All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews, and today we're going to do a quick review of Iron Fist Season 2. I finally finished it. It took me all the way through to this morning to do it, and while I do find it to be better than Season 1, this show still has some problems, but it is better than the first season. So there are some spoilers here. So I've never had a problem with Finn Jones, the actor. I think that could be, he could be good as Iron Fist. But again, in this season, I feel like they don't really know what to do with him. There's very little Iron Fist in it, except in the beginning. I feel like he's maybe the strength of this show. One of the things they learned is to rely a lot on our secondary characters. Even though when they brought back the Ward and Joy characters, I was like, oh God. Like, I thought we were done with that for the most part. And the thing is I do like Ward as a character. I do like the actor. Joy, on the other hand, was just like this whole season. Uh, I don't know. I just didn't give a shit. They hid my dad from me. I have to make them pay, and I'm going to be with the bad guy, and then I'm going to regret it, and just, I don't know. At least Ward was like trying and struggling with like the events of last season to try to be a better person, and like growing. And she to me was just a whiny, boring, I don't, look, bad stuff happened. I feel, but it just, I don't know. Again, Finn Jones, it does feel like he's doing a lot better this year in this season. I do think that Jessica Henwick, though, clearly, like just from last year too, who's Colleen Wing, she owns this series. If it wasn't for the fact that Danny Rand is in the comic books a guy, I would have just preferred this show to be just about her. She's a really capable actress and physical actress. I mean, in those fights, it's her. She was on Game of Thrones as one of the like Sand Sisters or whatever. So she comes from a background where she knows how to do this stuff. And just the fact that she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. But she's also just really good. Her and Misty too. Misty from Luke Cage and a little bit of Jessica Jones, I think. She's really a standout too in this. I didn't really care for her much in Luke Cage, but on this I really do like her. And speaking of that, I mean, I didn't review Luke Cage season 2 because I couldn't even get past episode 1. I was just not into it. I liked season 1 of Luke Cage, but it was just like, I don't know. Just not feeling it. And I don't know how I got through Jessica Jones season 2, to be honest with you. I liked it, but the whole mommy is the villain thing was just, and what happens with her friend, her best friend, and that, I was just like, oh, both of these seasons are just not, I mean, if I can't even get past episode 1, I don't know. But these Marvel shows have kind of started to take a nosedive for me. I'm hoping Daredevil season 3 will definitely pick it up. And The Punisher was pretty good for the most part. But going back to this, the Davos storyline of the guy who, like, I kind of get it. He was raised that way. He feels like it was stolen from him. But it's just a whiny bitch story. His mom told him, he's nothing, you lost. And he feels like he got ripped off, and so he's going to follow him to New York and tell him, you're not doing what the Iron Fist is supposed to do, so I'm going to get it, and I'm going to have Red Fist, so I'm going to kill everybody, and everybody's going to... It's like, I just kept going, how long do you really think, even if he wins, how long before Captain America or somebody just says, hey, there's this guy down in New York, and we just need to stomp his ass like hard. And some other hero would just come and end this guy's like career. But just his whole arc was just a pain in the ass. He kept getting away. It's just, Alice Eve's Typhoid Mary, while it's an interesting beginning, and it's definitely a different take on this, and definitely an origin story, she's typically a Daredevil character, so And characters like villains like this, they end up, showing up in other people's books too. But she's typically a Daredevil villain. I do kind of like what they're doing here. Alice Eve isn't a terrible actress or anything. So exploring her dissociative disorder and the fact that there's like this other alter besides Mary, she does this so quiet, because if you know in the comic, Typhoid Mary is a very big character as far as presence and personality and just over the top. So the fact that they brought it way down, I mean, Typhoid Mary's like at 11 and they brought her down to like a 3. I'm not saying that the actress was bad in it. It's just, it's interesting where they're going to go with it. I'm glad that she wasn't a character that they killed off like a lot of other villains and things like that. So there's so much more to do. And with Daredevil season 3 around the corner, hopefully they find a way to integrate her maybe into that, so that you got more than just Bullseye. But it is going to, be interesting. I am really hopeful for this series because of the end of it, with Colleen having her own fist powers and Danny having his 2 glowing fists, yellow fists that he can use guns with. So I guess, swords and guns now are usable with bullets. I don't know. One of the things about these street level shows is that I've never been really into any of their comics except for this one. I like Daredevil a lot. I read Daredevil all the time. I've been reading Daredevil my whole life, but I've never been a reader of Luke Cage or Iron Fist or Jessica Jones. I mean, I got into some of the Bendis stuff, but typically I don't really read their books because they're just kind of, I don't know. They're just not my thing. I like the characters as side characters in books. And so it's just been kind of like, I don't know, a chore to watch. It was a kind of a chore to watch this, and I was glad it was over, but I was glad I watched it at the same time. If you weren't a fan of season 1 and you hoped that season 2 was better, it is. Again, mostly because of how great she really is in this. She really brings it every episode. Whether she's fighting or having like the episode where they're having the dinner and she calls everybody out. She's such a no-nonsense character. I just can't say enough good things about Jessica Henwick. I hope that she gets a lot more to do. I like it when she shows up in other series. She was even great on The Defenders and all this other stuff. So that's about it. I didn't really say too much about this. I didn't really feel like the need to. But it is better than season 2. It does give me hope for the character later on. Even in like where Ward and Danny end up at the end of this is nice, and where Christine or Colleen ends up with this. And yeah, that's about it. I do recommend it. If you liked season 1, then you'll really like season 2. If you were hoping to give this another chance because you weren't quite sure about season 1, this is better. It's definitely improved from the Scott Buck season 1. They still leave him in the credits as the guy who created this, but whatever. So anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and we will see you on the next video. All right, this is Robert Smirking Gun Review saying, have a nice Wednesday. Jesus, I'm living in the past. Bye.